So if you feel out of control with food, like you can't stop thinking about it, that if you're not on a specific diet or you're not super strict, that you're just going to eat everything in sight and for some reason you just can't figure it out, then this video is for you because I'm going to break down exactly why you have these cravings, what they mean, and then next steps to kind of get rid of them, better understand them, and move forward. So the first thing you need to understand is that cravings come from lack. It's your body trying to tell you something is missing or wrong or in excess. So cravings can come from lack of nutrition, lack of support, accountability, lack of sleep, or even like too much stress, too little stress, whatever it might be. But it's your body trying to tell you something. And it's not super sophisticated. You also need to understand that. So in order to get your attention, in order for it to tell you something, it's going to bring forward something that it feels it needs. Okay? And that could be nutritional support, that could be rest, and your body is craving these certain foods because it's trying to get the certain things that it thinks it's coming from that. So for instance, certain foods make you sleepy, so it's going to crave those certain foods that it can find those specific chemicals in order to get you to sleep. Or if it's craving certain junk food, it knows that on a minimal level there are certain nutrients that it wants, and it thinks that by getting more of it, it's going to give it the things that it feels it's lacking. So once you understand that cravings are not your inability to avoid certain foods or your inability to follow a strict diet, an inability to just be a healthy person and take it as your body's telling you information, the better off you're going to be with moving forward with these cravings, understanding them, and then addressing your body and getting it exactly what it needs. So if you are interested, definitely download my free Cut Cravings in 3 Days workbook, because I'm going to go over everything that you need to do, starting with the first thing you need to address, and that being actually eating the foods that your body is craving to better understand why it's craving those things and start working on moving forward. So what I want you to do first is write down all of the foods that are on your mind. Good, bad, whatever it is, I want you to write down the things that keep you up at night, that you think about, that you are depriving yourself of, that you feel that if you are able to eat, you're going to eat all of it and then some. Like, write it all down. Get it out of your head so it stops spiraling, and put it down on a piece of paper, okay? Or on like a notes app on your phone or on your computer. And then from there, I want you to just put down exactly what sounds like something you would love to eat right now. Like if you were able to, something like some things like Thanksgiving dinner, like you're able to wait until Thanksgiving comes around, and that's a whole other thing that we can address later on. But what are things that you can get now, that you want now, that you have access to? Whether you should or shouldn't, I want you to just write that down, okay? And then to kind of help you get to a better spot with understanding why it is that you're craving these foods, I want you to do kind of just a life check, if you will. Think of it as like a wheel of life if you've done that, but on my workbook, I have a few things listed out. So, and on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being like, it's amazing, I'm really happy with it, don't need to address anything else, I'm really balanced, and 1 being, what are you talking about? This is non-existent. I want you to look at sleep, stress, water intake, social life, movement, and workouts, okay? On a scale of 1 to 5, are you really happy with it, or does it need some work, okay? Write that down, because like I said, your cravings are trying to tell you something, and it can be whether it is food related or it's something else. But because you are so hyper focused on food, because you feel so out of control with it, it is the one thing that your body knows that you will pay attention to and hopefully get the thing that it's craving. So cravings are not bad. It is just, and that's something that we have been struggling with like crazy up to this point, is because we have demonized certain foods. We have been told what is or isn't good for us and how we are feeling. So in order to get past that, we have like given away our ability to trust ourselves, to listen to our bodies, to understand what it is that we personally need, because we're following what everyone else is saying has either worked for them, worked for the vast majority of people, or is just like the new norm that we don't even listen to our own bodies. So the point of all of this is to better understand how your body is trying to tell you what it needs. And that starts with food. So first thing you're going to do is go through that day 1 of cutting cravings in 3 days. And then we are going to dive into better understanding the foods that you're craving and how your body responds to it, okay? So the whole point of this is to put you back in control of your life. And we're going to do it with an experimental mindset, because with an experiment, there's no success or failure. There's just an outcome. And with that outcome, you get to decide what it is you want to do with it. Do you want to keep it? Do you want to toss it? Do you want to try something new? But it ultimately puts you back in control of your life and gives you a say on how your body is responding and how you want to move forward with it, rather than just following what everybody else is saying. Okay? So take that mindset, and then you're going to want to watch this next video where I break down exactly what you're going to do to eat the foods that you are craving and understand why you're craving those things and kind of how to process that. So definitely check that next video out. Download the workbook below, and I'll see you there.